Good evening, Dr. Kalind.
Good evening, Srinivas.
It's nice to have you here today about talking to us about the new certification series that we were discussing earlier. I have had pleasure of knowing you for the last 5 years and learning a lot from you and experiencing Tai Chi and Qigong in the best possible manner. And I'm sure that's been the same experience of people all over the world who've been learning from you. And it's great to have you here again for a discussion on the new certification series. So I've heard that you plan to come out with a new series. Could you please elaborate? We are excited to know what it is all about.
Yeah, welcome, Srinivas, and I'm very proud of you. You have been consistent with practicing with a group of people that are listening to this. And it's been fascinating because that consistency is what takes people forward and deeper. And that's the meaning of doing Tai Chi and Qigong. You have both directions that way. Now, from what I've understood from our discussions before, you have been doing, number of practices, Tai Chi and Qigong. I just want to word this whole process in a different way of approaching. And I want to call it simply Tai Chi and Qigong because it is simple. It's not complicated. And that's one thing I want everyone to take away from. And when you do something simple, there's no stress. And simple things are repeated very often, very easy. Like, for example, eating. It's simple. Cooking may not be, but eating is very simple. So introduce simply Tai Chi and Qigong because they really are that way. And the certification you mentioned is something that is a little bit more structured, obviously. And the idea behind this is whatever you have been practicing, whatever been doing that 5 years, and we have had an interesting journey at my end and also with many of my associates that are here in the US. And this journey has been fascinating. It's been, as I said, it is forward, deeper at multiple levels. So the certification will involve not only the basics, going over the same foundation that you have, you know, inculcated and cultivated with your group and yourself. But we'll deepen that in multiple fashions, multiple ways. It would go through typical example is physical, mental, will be emotional, thought process, energy, spiritual. These are all different impacts. Physiological, for example, how in medical, understanding of it. Lots of things are happening around the world right now in Tai Chi and Qigong. So I hope you can recognize the value of this depth that everyone will get. And once they experience that, there's no point of return there. And it's like a one-way street, you don't come back.
I can understand what you're saying because I've been through it and I know how the graduation of the self has happened in terms of practicing Tai Chi and Qigong and the benefits that I myself witnessed over so many years. It's been changing from year to year. I can understand.
Yeah, and going through the two-step process here that we are planning to do. The first step is to develop people doing practices regularly themselves and also for the family. That's about it, really. But they can families and friends, close friends, they can start practicing with them. It's not a big issue. Once you learn about that, once a person gets the benefit of it, there's nothing, it will show on them to have stress free, to approach to life will change. All that will change. It will show. It will be very obvious to everybody. "Oh, what have you been doing? Are you taking some secret formula or something like that on the side? No, this is what will manifest from each one of you once you go through this. And the second step that we will do, and this is for people who want to go further, will be, we call it a leadership. And leadership part is when you'll see, Srinivasji, you will be leading, I'll be leading, my daughter Anuja is there, she will be leading. She's also, senior trainer and all. So the leading, how do you lead? And what do you lead? And you usually lead yourself. But how do you do that? And some simple pearls to become a leader. And and it doesn't mean that you have to lead people. It doesn't have to mean any of this. But the whole idea about, oh, I cannot lead, I cannot speak in front of people and all that stuff, that is a gate that you build yourself. That is the wall that you build yourself. How do you just remove those walls, And in a very nice way, so that you learn this art of just doing it. And the
That's
certification
so
part will
nice.
be going with this because, and the good news is, and you can elaborate on that a little bit more. The good news is that we'll have a combination certificate. One institute that I have in USA called Self-Fulfillment Institute. I conduct a lot of many courses through that. And yours, Pranamam, combination. So we'll combine the, certification with this.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, it's been a pleasure for my own institute, Pranavam Wellness, to associate with Self Fulfillment Institute, which brings a lot of experience to the table. So I think we are growing together, and Pranavam is also growing along in association with SFI. So I look forward to it,
Yeah.
and I
And
know that we'll have clients all over the participants from all over the globe. So I really am looking forward to this series starting shortly.
yeah, welcome to the journey. As I said, the details are simple. There's going to be a flyer on this. You're listening to this one, but look for the flyer that will be done. And there's a landing page that will be created on the SFI platform. That link will be given to you. And basically just register. And then what happens to the course is, that's we have always done on this particular platform, is every single time we do this, we record, just like we're recording it now. The recordings will be available to everybody. And believe it or not, since I'm a teacher, I sort of request and not necessarily expect thoroughly, but I request that everyone follows these recordings so that they can practice and cultivate themselves. And it's okay to repeat, and we'll continue to repeat until everybody gets it. But it's also important to have that initiative, that excitement, that curiosity that goes with new learning. And so we would really, appreciate every one of you maintaining that with us. And so we'll do it together.
Excellent. There were a couple of questions in my mind, and you already answered them. One of them was, how is it going to be different than what people in my group, in our community, have already learned? And you beautifully answered that, saying that we'll be going deeper and in several dimensions on each of the learnings that they already have. And that, I think, is more than adequate reason for them to sign up for this one. So that
I
is
thought
one
of
thing.
another one, not to interrupt you, but I thought of another one while you were talking, and that has to do with something that I always come across when I start doing the Tai Chi, and from background that I have, yoga background. And they say, well, why in the world are you going to Chinese here, India has all the yogic thing that you need, and then China stole it from us, and, all that kind of questions come up. Well,
Yes.
we have been doing a lot of comparative practices, not only practices, but understanding of it. So there'll be a lot of that coming through, and you'll recognize that they're very similar, number one. And who came first is not it's like a chicken or the egg, who came first. Well, that's not our question. The question is, are you getting the benefit? And I'll summarize two benefits. And if you feel that this is important to you, join us. Two bottom line benefits through these. One is relaxation, removal of stress, and the second is increasing awareness. Awareness to the potential of your own self intelligence, mind, and ability to perform in whatever area you are performing. These two are amazing benefits from these Tai Chi and Qigong, and welcome you to experience that.
Wow, because these are exactly, Dr. Kalind, the benefits, the need of the current world in the current situation that people are going through. So I think we've hit upon the benefits really bang on. So that's nice. It's the need of the hour. So I'm so happy to know that. And what is also very, very nice to listen to is the fact that you have something in this certification series for somebody who's a practitioner of wellness as well as leaders. There are people in the group who are yoga teachers. There are people who are wellness experts. There are people who are servicing clients in terms of taking them to wellness. So the leadership part of it would definitely address them also, and that's so nice to know. So it's a very comprehensive, multidimensional. Um, it caters to several segments in society.
Indeed, Srinivas. Thank you very much for asking some insightful questions, and I hope everybody, many people join.
Oh yes, we're all looking forward to this, Dr. Kalin. I'm sure of that. And thank you very much for being here in this discussion. And we look forward to very shortly to this series which is starting off. Thank you so much for being here.
You're most welcome.